Baby Morris shoehorned in every
corner that they can get in here in New Lenox tonight. Providence Catholic High School, the side of our AT&T Broadband Network High School Game of the Week. It's a 5A quarterfinal matchup between Joliet Catholic and Providence. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds, John Traub will be down on the sidelines. And Kenny, this is what it's all about. Young men who grow up in this area, they don't dream of playing pro football. They don't dream of playing in college. They dream of playing for one of these two schools.
Right, and of course, this is the game they want to play against each other. Joliet Catholic versus Providence Catholic. This is what it's all about, Jim. And I think the winner of tonight's game will be the state champion in Class 5A.
However, the winner of this game will have 2 more victories to earn before they can claim a state championship. And the Providence Celtics and the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers certainly know a lot about winning state titles. Joliet Catholic, they've won more state titles than anybody else. Joliet Catholic will kick off to start tonight's game. They won the toss, they deferred to the second half, so the Celtics are going to get the first crack at the football. Ty Foley will get it started. Drives it deep, drives it to the goal line. It's taken at the 6. Return set up in the middle of the field, and the return brought out to the 30-yard line where the Celtics will set up first down and 10.
And good field position. I think you have to be happy. Your first possession at the 30-yard line, not bad field position.
It will be a battle of field position. It will be a battle of defense, and the defense will have to hold down 2 pretty explosive offensive. Nick Stanton, the quarterback, has not thrown an interception this year. Clay Cleveland, 21 rushing touchdowns, 1,600 yards on the ground so far this season. Darren Richler lines up in front of Cleveland as the blocking back. First down and 10 for Providence from their own 30-yard line. Opening play of the game, Cleveland on the right side. Just keeps the wheels spinning. He'll pick up about 3 yards. Makes his way out to the 33. That'll bring up second down and 7.
Boy, he just refused to go down. You know, we talk so much about balance and keeping the wheels spinning. That was a perfect example right there.
The Joliet Catholic defense. They are led by a sophomore. Chris Jeske, the linebacker. 4 forced fumbles. He's recovered 3. He leads the team in tackles.
97 tackles. That's unbelievable.
Especially for a sophomore. Joliet Catholic puts a bunch up in the box. Cleveland gets the handoff, not much there. As a matter of fact, he may have lost the handle for a moment. It'll be no gain on the play, bringing up third down and 7.
Not much there. You have to give credit to the Joliet Catholic front 4. And what a big front 4 they have.
195, 275, 255, and 210 across the front line for Joliet Catholic. And then you cram up 4 linebackers in there. 3 of those 4 go over 200 pounds. You have a lot of beat if Joliet Catholic decides to put 8 in the box. Stanton, 81 of 124, throwing the ball so far this year. He'll roll to his right. He has plenty of room. He decides to throw.
Wide
complete.
Open.
First down, Providence Catholic. Across the midfield stripe at the 48-yard line. The reception made by Dan Bland.
And that's not an easy thing to do, Jim. Running like he had to run and throwing the ball on the move. Here it is again. Off the play action fake. You see Stanton. I tell you what, he only had 1 incomplete yesterday. Hasn't been intercepted all season. Rolling out, throwing to his right. Found his man. First down, Celtics.
That was Tony Blahovic who made the reception on the play. 80 and not 89. First down and 10 for the Joliet Catholic 48-yard line. Handoff. And this one goes to the fullback, Richler, and there's just not much there. No gain.
Not much there at all. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to run against this team. They have an outstanding front 4, and it's going to be very difficult to run against Joliet Catholic.
That's why, in spite of the fact that the running backs in this game, Cleveland and Crampton, are well over 1,000 yards for the season, that it's really going to be big passing plays by the quarterback that may be key in this game. Second down, we'll call it 10 for Providence from the Joliet Catholic 48. Toss, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, that's an incomplete pass. Of course, everybody dives on it, thought it may have been a lateral, but it was a forward incomplete pass.
Well, Mark Bennett, good coaching, decides not to take a chance.
But yeah, you might as well take the chance, Jim. You don't have anything to lose here early in the first quarter. And let's face it, you can't just always give the ball to Cleveland. You're going to have to mix it up.
Second down and 10. Or third down and 10. Stanton has thrown once. He completed a pass for first down. Has Richler and Cleveland lined up in the backfield behind him. Stanton back to throw. Decides to go over the middle, has his man, and has another first down. 2 completions for Providence Catholic and 2 first downs. The play finally ends at the 30-yard line. Tim Turkowski with the reception.
What a great blocking by the offensive line. Stanton had all day. No pressure on him at all. Stood in the pocket. Had plenty of time. First down. Now, Jim, watch that blocking by that front line there. He has so much time. Nobody in the picture in the pocket sees this man coming across over to the right for the first down for the Providence Celtics.
First down and 10 from the 29.
Boy, I tell you, what a great job of that offensive line.
They're giving Stanton time, and he's looking through a couple of progressions and completing passes. Rolls out to his right. Has a man open, finds the seam, complete. Another first down for Providence Catholic. Dan Bland finally taken down at the 12.
3 for 3. You don't get much better than perfect, right? Tell you what, he rolls out as soon as he gets the snap. Looks like it's going to be like a naked bootleg. Watch him when he gets the snap. Just comes right out, rolls right out, makes it look like he's going to run it for a bootleg. Finds his man wide open. I tell you, these receivers are doing an outstanding job of getting open, finding the seams. Another first down.
Stanton well on track to be one of the most proficient, or I should say efficient, quarterbacks in Providence Catholic history. First and 10 from the 13-yard line. Stanton, play action, throws it out to his right, complete, but not much there. It turns into a long handoff. Neil Martin made the reception. He'll pick up maybe 3 yards.
Boy, I tell you, it looked like he lost the ball, but the official said he was down. You saw Joliet Catholic saying he had the ball, but the official blew him down.
Second down and 8 from the 11. Richler and Cleveland in the backfield. Handoff up the middle, flag goes down, no gain in the play.
It's a hold against Providence. And that flag came right at the snap too, Jim. And when you throw that flag right there in the middle, you know 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a hold. As you take a look at this big crowd here at Providence, everywhere you can put a person, there's a person.
Repeat second down.
So the ball comes all the way back to the 23-yard line. 8:06 remaining in the first quarter. Providence has had the ball the entire first quarter so far. Stanton back to pass. Hides it now, has to step up in the pocket as time runs out and he's taken down.
Well, he didn't go down easy.
Stanton taken down at the 22-yard line.
He does not go down easily.
Ryan Lincoln among those in on the tackle.
Nice job by Stanton, just trying to get away. You know, he did his drop back, Jim, and nothing was there, nothing developed. I thought he did a pretty good job of not making it even more than 3rd and 15.
And it is 3rd and 15 from the 20. Mark Bennett is out wide to the left. Richler and Cleveland lined up in the I. Stanton rolls out to his left, looking for Bennett. He's covered, throws it anyway. Bennett came back and got it at the 10.
What a move.
Bennett inside the 5, making some moves. He will be close to a first down. He may be about a yard and a half short.
Oh, what a great move by Bennett. Do you know how hard that is to do? Quarterback running the opposite way. You know, he's a right-handed quarterback and he's running to the left. That's hard to do. And he throws it on the fly. Here it is again. Now he rolls out to the left. And this is hard to do, going the other way, and throws it off the back leg. And Bennett, what a move there, breaking one tackle, comes across field, breaks another, and he's going to be just a little bit short of the first down.
Andy Hopkins into attempt a 22-yard field goal. The wind is blowing into Hopkins' face. Kick is up. Hopkins drives it down the right side of the uprights, gets it 3-0 Providence.
Into the wind, no problem. That had plenty of distance.
That thing was nailed.
27-yarder going into the wind. Not bad.
So the Celtics pick up 65 yards in that opening drive. It ends in the field goal, and they will take a 3-0 lead. Now, Providence will have to kick into the wind just a little bit. It's not a sear. Well, now look out the flag, Kenny. The wind looks like it's switching around, and it's coming from the northeast.
Well, you know, when you get me out in these suburbs directions, I'm kind of lost with directions. I'm just gonna say the wind is blowing.
Well, I will tell you this: we are watching a game on one of the few fields that goes east and west. Matt Stepner, been a coach for a long, long time, and has had a lot of success.
To say the least, this has been one of the best programs, not just, like you said, in the state of Illinois, but also in the nation.
And Dan Sharp across the field took over for Bob Stone, and Joliet Catholic over the years has changed coaches, but the success level has not dropped off.
But they just keep them coming and coming and coming. Unbelievable the progress these two schools seem to make every year.
Celtics about to kick off. Bob Kelsey lays into it at the 40. Pretty good kick. It's going to be taken all the way back at the 5-yard line. Brad Board brings it up the left side of the field. He had a seam for a second, but he was taken down at the 22-yard line. So the first possession for Joliet Catholic will start at their own 22-yard line.
Well, he had a seam just for a fraction of a second, but that seam really closed up in a hurry.
The Joliet Catholic offense, Ross Crampton, has been at running back for 6 games, has gained over 1,200 yards.
And that's unbelievable. He started the season as a safety. They move him from safety to running back, and he rushes for over 1,200 yards. That to me is incredible.
Ryan Quigley, 13 touchdowns, has thrown 5 interceptions. They'll go to the ground first. This is Hetman, and he's hit immediately behind the line of scrimmage. Marty Marino got there first.
Nothing there, absolutely nothing, nowhere to go. Celtics really sniffed that play out.
The Providence defense, they are pretty good sized up front, but their defensive tackle and defensive end, Peterson goes 170, Barkman 165. It's the linebackers who will come up and make a lot of the stops once the linemen hold up the charge.
And that's all you need to do is have your linemen hold him up, and your linebackers coming to help out.
First handoff of the game for Crampton, pretty decent yardage, takes it out to about the 27-yard line before he's taken down. Gain of about 6 on the play, bring up 3rd down and 6.
6'2", 212, goes from safety to running back and rushes for 1,200 yards in 6 games. That's incredible, Jim. that's unheard of.
And it's amazing that any team, after 2 losses, decides, okay, this isn't good enough, we have to change things up.
Right. And he also, oh, look at this. Everybody moves. That's got to go against Joliet Catholic.
And that, of course, draws the reaction from the Providence crowd. And there it is a crowd tonight, Kenny. We've got people lined up against the fence over here by the railroad tracks. We have people sitting out in the reeds. People just trying to find a place to sit.
I can't hear.
Well, not to mention the press box. We're so cramped.
Right.
We're against the wall. We can't even see the field.
3rd down. And, you know, I can't even see the ball mar. There it is. 3rd down and 12. Back to pass is Quigley. Deep drop.
Flag.
It's all going to come back because of a flag. This is Hetman taking the ball out to the 27-yard line, but this is all going to come back.
Yeah, they set up the screen, but there's going to be a hold against Joliet Catholic. They're going to bring that one back.
Let's go downstairs for the first time tonight to John Traub. John?
Well, thanks, guys. And this matchup coming a couple weeks too early for the folks in this crowd here tonight. And you take a look at the stats, you know why. Since 1975, JCA with 10 championships, going for their 4th in a row here tonight. And since 1987, Providence going for their 2nd in a row. They've had 7 state championships since 1987. Both teams combined since 1987, 12 state championships. So little wonder why this capacity crowd here tonight thinks that the winner of this game will add some more hardware to that trophy room. Guys, back to you.
All right, John, and there was a little bit mentioned from some of the Joliet fans about moving this game to Memorial Stadium. for this game tonight, even though it's Providence's home game.
Oh,
but,
I wouldn't move it.
Yeah, that idea didn't get a whole lot of consideration.
No, I don't think so.
And you can't blame the Celtics one bit.
That's what you fight for home field advantage for.
Punt formation on fourth down for Joliet Catholic. Mark Reeder back to receive the punt, standing at his own 40-yard line. High snap, Hetman gets rid of it. Short punt. It's going to get a Joliet Catholic roll and go out of bounds to the 39-yard line.
Ball goes out of bounds around the 39-yard line.
For a short punt, took a great Joliet Catholic roll.
First and 10 from the 39. Slot right for Providence. Handoff up the middle. Pretty good yardage for Cleveland. He keeps the legs churning, gets out to the 43-yard line.
Boy, he does that so well, Jim. Just keeps those legs churning, just keeps going, just will not go down easily.
And Ryan Lincoln.
Second down and 6 from the 43. Handoff.
Darren Richland, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 5.
Boy, you talk about big plays, Jim. This is exactly what they want to do. You hand the ball off. Great blocking by that offensive line. Good way to follow the blockers. What a great job.
First and 10 from the Joliet Catholic 46-yard line. Slot right, and Joliet Catholic has trouble getting the right people on the field or the right amount of them, and they have to call timeout.
And it's mistakes like that that will come back and kill you. You got to have the right amount of people on the field. No excuse for that.
And it gives Providence a chance to talk about what they want to do with yet another first down. They've been rolling up the first downs. They've been rolling up the yardage so far. Cleveland with 18 yards on 4 carries so far tonight. Don't forget Sports Weekly with Perry Williams and Dave Wills every week. That's why it's called Sports Weekly, Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Thursdays, right, 6:30 right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. So what'd you say, Kenny?
Well,
6,000 here tonight?
Yeah, at least. I hope you can hear me, because I can't hear you.
I can't hear a thing. I'm watching your lips move, and I'm just doing a little lip reading. 3:53 remaining in the first quarter. So far, Providence Catholic has certainly been more effective on offense, and they have a field goal to show for it, a 3-0 lead.
Well, Jim, I think one thing that they want to do is just control the clock, control the chains. You give that ball off to Cleveland, keep the chains moving, keep the clock running. I don't think you want to give that high-powered Joliet Catholic offense many opportunities to have the football.
Well, the beauty of it is for Providence, too, and it's probably way too early to talk about this, but it's a consideration as you keep those big guys in the defense out there in the field a long, long time. Stanton has been very efficient. This time decides to hand it off, and Cleveland has an opening. Cleveland cuts it back to the inside. He's in the open. Cleveland will get to the end zone. Touchdown, Providence. 46 yards from the carry. 9-0 Celtics.
What a job of blocking. Just unbelievable job of blocking by Providence. Here it is again. Now watch the blocking. Here's your first block. Watch the way he just jumps over it right here, Jim. He'll just take a little skip, gets through. Now watch the block, and we can pick it up right there, by number 85. What a beautiful block right there by the wide receiver. That springs him for the 46-yard touchdown.
Hopkins in to attempt the extra point. Got a little bit underneath it, pushed it off to the right. No good, so it will stay 9-0 Providence.
What a job of blocking, especially by the wide receiver. He stood his man up, and then Cleveland saw that and went around him. Just that was the key block. 46-yard touchdown. Everything going Providence Catholic way the first quarter.
Well, this has been an offensive showcase compared to what was happening in the first game.
Yeah, first game was just 10-2. But here we've already got 9 here in the first quarter. But now see, he makes the little hop right there to get in the open field. But I want you to watch the block right there. That's the key block right there by the wide receiver. That springs them open, and everything from there is icing on the cake.
Cleveland had 125 yards rushing in the first game against Joliet Catholic, and he's well toward that total again.
Yeah, he may have that by halftime, the way he's going.
Well, and the beauty of it is, for Providence, is the fact that they have a lead now, and granted, it's only a 9-0 lead, but it's still a 2-score lead, and it makes your running game that much more effective because you can be more patient.
You can be more patient, run that clock, move the chains. Beautiful job of blocking.
And Stanton has been incredible so far. He has made all the throws he's needed to. Celtics will kick it off again. Keep in mind, though, too, that Joliet Catholic in 3 minutes and 44 seconds is going to get to flip around and get the wind at their back. Ball taken at about the 6-yard line by Bird. He'll bring it up the middle of the field, and he has an opening, and he actually tripped over one of his own players at the 30-yard line, and he ends up going down at the 33, where it will be 1st and 10, Joliet Catholic.
You know what? He tripped over his own man. Was that Jake Trader that he tripped over?
41, Jake Trader.
That was Jake Trader that he tripped over. Here it is again. Now, look, he just trips over his own man. He had a big hole, a big seam, and trips over his own man. I guess when you're looking for green, you don't look for the white.
That's exactly right.
And he didn't see him.
Boy, Trader, that was textbook there. Fortunately, took out his own guy. 1st and 10, Joliet Catholic from their own 35-yard line. They shift into the eye. Handoff goes to the first man through, Kurt Kleeman, and he slips and slides for about 2 yards before he was taken down.
See, Jim, right where the ball is right now, around the 40 and the 35-yard line, it's very muddy right there, where the field is a little chopped up from an entire season of play. Where you have the sophomores playing here, the varsity, you have band. Right there, if you get a good look at the field, if we can take a wide shot, you see it's a little muddy where the ball is, so footing is not going to be the best.
2nd down and 8. Handoff up the middle, pretty decent yardage for Crampton, but the hole closes very quickly, and he just pushes the pile out to about the 40-yard line.
Follow the blocker, just pushing the pile up forward just a little bit. So that's going to make it third and 5.
And Joliet Catholic has had a hard time getting anything going on offense so far. This is their 2nd possession. They had to punt after their first one. 2:24 and counting remaining in the first quarter. It's a big 1st down for Joliet Catholic if they can get it, because if they can get it, they'll be able to flip around and go with the win in the 2nd quarter, and they're not going to get the 1st down.
Well, Providence brought up 7 guys up front, and they just shut that run down.
Ryan Kolzak got in and made the tackle. And that will bring up 4th down. And Providence does not need to use a timeout if they wanted to make Joliet Catholic punt into the win, because they'll have to get the next snap off well before the quarter comes to an end. 1:46 remaining.
Yeah, so this snap has to get off. It'll be 4th and 5.
4th down and 5. They line up at least temporarily as if they're going to go for it. And now they drop into what would be a punt formation. It turns out kind of being a half punt, half quick kick. And the ball takes a Joliet Catholic roll and ends up on the 25-yard line before it's down. So pretty good play by the Hilltoppers. They end up getting a pretty decent exchange of yardage on the possessions. But Providence has the ball back, and they'll try and add to a 9-0 lead.
Yeah, that's not a bad kick, I think, by Brett Hetman. That wasn't a bad kick at all. A little razzle-dazzle, a little showtime. But it took a good Joliet Catholic.
Those actually may be the best seats in the house we saw there. Those are backed up to one of the dugouts in the baseball diamonds, so you're out of the wind and you're up on a little hill and you got a pretty good view of the field.
Those a lot better than what we have.
Those Providence fans have taken little happiness in the fact their team is leading 9-0. Slot right, Stanton fakes to Cleveland. Stanton rolls, looks to throw, puts it up in the air, and that was pretty close to getting picked off. Getting a hand on it was Richler, but there were a lot of white shirts in the area led by Kevin Serena.
Well, you know, he hasn't been picked off all season. You don't want to wait until the biggest game of the year to have your first interception.
So the Hilltoppers really for the first time in this game are going to have down and distance in their favor. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. 1:13 remaining in the first quarter.
I think it's incredible that you don't have your quarterback and not had an interception all year.
That's amazing. Cleveland up the middle, and he was hit right near the line of scrimmage, kept his legs moving, and leaned his way out to the 29-yard line before he was brought down. Pick up a 3 on the play that'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, that may be the toughest 3 he's had all year.
Well, the thing is, Kenny, is he keeps his feet moving and gets the forward lean going, and you can just tell by watching the game that he's not that big of a guy, 5'8", 171, but he keeps his legs moving, and if you do that, you can usually get pretty good yardage.
Great balance, great balance.
Officially 3rd down and 8. Stanton has been pretty good throwing the ball so far, and he has to pull it down. It looked like he was going to throw it. He had Hetman right in his face, and it's going to be a loss in the play all the way back to the 20-yard line, but Providence will keep possession at least long enough to punt the football away.
Off the play action, look at Hetman coming right there, put his hands up, so he decided to bring it back down. But how smart do you have to be to have that ball up, like you're about to throw it, and then bring it back down?
It's a Tiger Woods type move.
You better believe it.
Right in the middle. Celtics get the right personnel in. 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. They should really get rid of this thing and punt with the win.
Not gonna do
they're not going to.
Boy, I would have taken a win. Take the punt with the win.
Well, you know what, Kenny? It flipped around again. It's actually blowing across the field, so it really doesn't make any sense. Far be it from us to argue with Matt Sefner. He's won a ton of state championships. He's been very successful in his years at Providence, and at the end of 1 quarter of play, his Celtics have the lead on our AT&T Broadband High School Game of the Week.
The AT&T.
Ready for the 2nd quarter of play. The Celtics get off a punt that only goes out to the 46-yard line. So Joliet Catholic, for the first time tonight, is going to have pretty good field position to start an offensive series. 1st and 10 from the Providence 46-yard line. Handoff, Crampton breaks a tackle, gets out to the 45-yard line, picked up maybe a yard.
And that's a tough yard. He broke a tackle. You're gonna have to hit him low, Jim. You can't hit him high. You have to hit him low.
9-0 Providence out in front. The Hilltoppers need to get something going on offense.
And they need to get it going in a hurry, because Providence Catholic has shown they can dominate on offense. They've had everything going their way tonight.
Quigley brings them up. Quigley on play action, back to pass, looking downfield, has a man open, just misses Bobby Wilkinson, who had gotten behind the defense.
Boy, if you make that pass, that's 6, because Wilkinson was behind the defense. Beautiful play action pass, great blocking by the offensive line. Plenty of time, he just overthrew Wilkinson.
Wilkinson, 27 catches so far this year for 6 touchdowns. He was open, could have had a 7th, but the throw wasn't there.
Snuck behind the defense, did a wonderful job getting behind the defense. And if that pass is on the money, all of a sudden, you have 6 points.
Brings up 3rd down and 9. Providence ran 18 offensive plays in the first quarter to only 8 for Joliet Catholic.
Well, that's why we have a 9-0 score.
Quigley, back to pass, in trouble, escapes the first man, doesn't get away from the second, he fumbles the football. Fumbles the ball, the Celtics have it at the Joliet Catholic 42. Recovered by Brian Peterson.
And Quigley's hurt.
And Quigley is down on the ground, he is not getting up.
He's not getting up, he's down. Boy, I tell you, what a rush by the Providence Catholic front four. Quigley got away from the first defender, boy, but there was number 2, 3, and 4 right there to bring him down.
Quigley going slowly to the sidelines. Borg is the backup quarterback.
Here it is again, Jim. Now he'll get away here from the first one. You try to get him high, he breaks away. Let's see where he gets hurt. He's hit and goes down, I think, on that left shoulder.
He was absolutely crushed, Kenny.
He was crushed, and I think he came down on that shoulder. And nothing but green jerseys all around it to pick up the ball. Providence looking good tonight.
And now they have the advantage of good field position. 1st and 10 from the Joliet Catholic 43. They have a 9-point lead. Let's see if they go to work on the ground. They don't. Play action. And incomplete to Cleveland. Off his hand and falls harmlessly to the turf at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, the play action was for Cleveland. Then he came out of the backfield, but the throw was a little behind him. He had to turn the other direction, and it went off his hands.
Well, you're not only looking at the starting right outside linebacker for Joliet Catholic, Brad Borg is also the backup quarterback. So if Joliet Catholic can't get Ryan Quigley back into the game, their backup has no chance of warming up.
And on a night like tonight, you need all the warm-up you can get.
Yeah, no kidding.
It is cold.
1st and 10, or check that, 2nd and 10 from the 43. Handoff, Cleveland has some yardage up the middle, pushes the pile,
Still
keeps
going.
the feet moving and breaks out in the open. Cleveland in a race to the goal line. He wins a touchdown, Providence. 43 yards for Cleveland. He has had 2 touchdowns. The first was 46, the second was 43. 15-0, Providence Catholic.
Again, the key is that he just never stops moving. He keeps the legs churning. He keeps the feet moving. He just never gives up. He just keeps moving and moving and moving. And he's so low to the ground, I think by the time those big guys reach down, he's gone. Now here's a little hole. He hits those holes so quickly. Great job of blocking right there. And he just won't stop. He's hit. He keeps his feet moving, and he keeps going. Avoids a tackle. Gets daylight, and another 6 for Clay Cleveland.
He gets behind those linemen. He's hard to find.
He's so little. And, you know, by the time the big guys reach down for him, he's gone.
He just keeps pumping those feet. Andy Hopkins, a field goal and a missed extra point, and that hit the upright and bounces back on the field. So it will stay 15-0, and the Celtics, the only thing they haven't done right tonight is they haven't made either one of their extra points.
Well, they've done everything else right tonight. Boy, what a performance so far. So far, this has been a wonderful performance by the Celtics.
Well, Kenny, when you load them up to stop the run, if you can get a pretty decent block at the point of attack, and if you can get your running back through the initial charge, there's not a whole lot. Look at all the white shirts up at the line of scrimmage.
But look at the blocking right there. He does such a wonderful job. Look at all the big guys with his 76, 62. Just bounced right off. Did a wonderful job of bouncing off the block, avoids the tackle, and then he's gone. But the offensive line deserves so much credit. They have done a beautiful job.
110 yards rushing on 7 carries already in the game for Cleveland. Pretty good night.
Pretty good week.
Let's go downstairs to John Traub.
Well, guys, what you just saw the last couple of series for Providence pretty much summarizes their entire season. Big play on defense followed by a big play on offense. This Providence offense averaging over 40 points a game. But what about their defense as well? They haven't given up over 8 points the entire season in a game and have 5 shutouts. And going back to week 4, guys, against Joliet Catholic, they limited the Hilltoppers to 230 yards on offense and just 2 points. Those 2 points come out of safety. Looking good so far for the Celtics. Jim, Kenny, back to you.
Let's see if
All right, John, thank you very much. Robert Buchanan takes the kickoff, has to make some moves just to get out to the 27-yard line. He finally is brought down by Kevin Kuznick of Providence. 1st and 10 for Joliet Catholic, and they need to score some points in this drive.
And the question is Quigley going to be the quarterback? You know, he went off injured, and he's coming back. There he is. He's coming back.
So Quigley, who went down hard at the end of the last series, is now back in as Joliet Catholic is in a little bit of a bind. 10:33 remaining in the second quarter. Providence leading Joliet Catholic 15-10. Handoff, and very quickly through the hole was Crampton. He carries it out to about the 33-yard line. Had his feet tangled up as he came through the hole, or he might have been gone for more yardage.
Yeah, I don't know if he was brought down by a Celtic defender or if he just stumbled because his feet was extremely tangled up.
So it's going to be 2nd and 5 for Joliet Catholic. Handoff again to Crampton, and very quickly got through the hole, takes it out to the 36-yard line, taken down by Brian Kolzak.
He gets through those holes extremely quick, doesn't he? He does a nice job getting to the hole. Not going to measure it. They're going to make it a first. Yeah, they're not going to call for a measurement.
So the clock will run, 9:55 remaining in the second quarter.
Well, it looks awfully close. I'm surprised they didn't measure.
So are all the Providence coaches are standing right next to us. First down and 10. Crampton in motion, but the handoff goes to the up man. There's just nothing there. Providence Catholic has everything stacked up on the inside. Leading the surge for the Celtics was Kyle Pavlik, the nose tackle.
Yeah, everything's stopped up on the inside. If they're going to run, they're going to have to go to the outside. They're not giving up anything on the inside. They had everything stopped up to play that run on the inside.
And the thing Joliet Catholic has done, they've tried all three backs at different times, and there just hasn't been a whole lot of success.
Not much there.
And just by looking at the sizes of the players, the Joliet Catholic offensive line should have a huge advantage, but the linebackers come up for Providence as well, and they've been jamming up the middle of the field. Rollout after a fake. Quigley, he goes down. Quigley taken down hard again. This time all the way back to the 27-yard line. He was sacked by Mike Barkman. That's his 5th sack of the season.
You were just talking about the huge size advantage of Joliet Catholic, but watch Mike Barkman. Watch, he'll use his quickness. He'll get through. He'll be coming off, shed off 2 blockers, and just bring him down from behind. What he does, he uses his quickness, Jim. He shed off the 2 blockers. He ran quickly down from behind. That's quickness and speed.
That was Stevens that got there first. Barkman just came in and cleaned up after it was all over with. So Stevens will get credit for the sack. 3rd down and 17 from the 29-yard line. Quigley, back to pass, has some time, looking downfield, delivers the ball, and just a little bit of miscommunication. It looked like Wilkinson had started to break out toward the sideline. The ball sailed behind him, and Joliet Catholic is going to have to punt again. And at the moment, Kenny, no wind whatsoever.
And that was a busted play because, I mean, the ball was thrown in the vicinity of no receiver. So I don't know where the miscommunication was, but not a good time when nothing is going your way.
Well, Quigley certainly looked like he had made a pretty committed throw, that he knew where it was going to be and the receiver was going to be, but right as he let it go, Wilkinson turned toward the sideline. Tight formation for Joliet Catholic. Now they'll drop back into a punt formation. Hetman, the punter.
What's wrong with just going back to punt formation?
And Ryder is standing back at his 35. Well, they went with that little mini punt, I guess. And that one is just kind of, I guess we can say Hetman kind of came over the top of that one and hooked it out of bounds. Ball goes out, and it's going to be spotted at the 48-yard line. There's so many people over there in the Joliet Catholic sideline, you can't see the officials where they're going to mark the football.
No, it was really tough to see.
It is,
I think, the 48.
much more than an overflow crowd here tonight in New Lenox.
Both on the field and in the press box.
I think they should have moved this thing to the Speedway, Ken.
Well,
150,000 seats.
But you don't want to give up a home field advantage.
Oh, no, it'd still be Providence home game. 1st and 10 from the 48. Handoff up the middle. Cleveland just does what he's been doing all night long. That is, take an initial hit 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. He keeps the legs churning and takes it out to about the 43-yard line.
He just keeps the legs churning, follows those big offensive linemen, and he is just so tough to bring down. I don't think they can see him behind those big offensive linemen.
Well, let's, again, as you mentioned, let's give the credit where the credit is due, because the offensive line is getting a pretty good surge upfield. They're getting a couple yards up the field before they meet any contact. 2nd down and 2 from the 44. Rollout. Stanton looks downfield, has a man open down the middle, complete, touchdown Providence. Tony Vlahovic on the reception, and for the 3rd time in this game, the Celtics have a scoring play of 40 yards or more, and there's a flag down at midfield.
Let's see what the flag's going to be again.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer, you decline it, touchdown. What, you think we got the Providence coaches up here?
5th touchdown of the year for Vlahovic.
Oh, man, here it is again. off the little play action. The offensive line does a great job. Cleveland with a wonderful block there to the left of your screen. And he goes down to Vahovcik. And all of a sudden, he's wide open, Jim. All you need is one step. He had the one step, 6 points. But Cleveland with a great block in the backfield.
Stanton's 21st touchdown pass of the year. Extra point is up, and for the first time in 3 tries, good. It is all Providence so far here in the first half. 22-0.
Who would have thought it, huh?
I wouldn't.
I mean, there's a lot of football to be played, but who would have thought it? Hey, if we could see that again, what a block in the backfield, though, by Cleveland. That was a great block. Now watch Cleveland, number 29, see the block right there? Stands up the linebacker. That creates the extra time for the long throw. What a wonderful block by Cleveland in the backfield. You only needed one step. There's your 6 points.
Stanton 6 of 9 for 107 yards throwing in the game. And he just had to wait for the point where he wanted to throw it.
Exactly.
Because his man was so open, he just had to wait until he got into the middle of the field, let it go down the middle of the field, let your receiver track it down. And it's a you don't want to say an easy touchdown. He made a great throw, but he had all the time in the world to wait for the proper break.
And your receiver only needs one step. And if he has a step and we had the speed, you're going to get an easy 6 points.
Now,
as a former receiver, I'll say it's easy.
Matt Snefner is down there. I'm sure he's saying to his guys, hey, long way to go.
Oh, there's a lot of football.
Long way to go.
Oh, a lot of football to be played. But I think everybody would be surprised, 22-0, with 7.5 to go in the first half.
And remember, too, Providence had to settle for a field goal in their opening possession. And they've missed 2 extra points.
Or else it would be 24-0, if my math is correct.
Borg takes it at his own 3-yard line, slides a little bit, starts at the middle of the field, then slides and goes down to 15. As with every high school field around the state of Illinois at this time of year that's natural grass, the middle of the field can be a little treacherous, and it is a little soggy down there tonight. Remember, it rained almost all day yesterday out here in the southwest suburbs.
After you have a season full of football, then you have bands, soccer, and everything else. Now watch the way he'll just go down.
Puts on the brakes.
Puts on the brakes.
Woo, 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 woo. And as soon as you go down in high school football, you are down. First down and 10 from the 16. Hilltoppers can get right back in it if they can get a touchdown on the start. Crampton slips trying to go on the counter, and he just gets nothing going. And because he couldn't find the wheels, ends up losing a couple of yards.
Yeah, and once he slipped, there was nothing he could do. That outstanding defensive line of Joliet, of Providence Catholic, was right there. Mark Barkman just jumps right over the pile to stop him. Wonderful job.
Well, with as jacked up as that Providence Catholic defense is right now, you maybe see everybody coming after whoever has the ball. Second down and 12, and Joliet Catholic backed up to their own 13-yard line.
I've been watching the guys on the sideline, security trying to push people back. Oh, it's pretty funny.
Unbelievable how many people are here. That'll get back the yardage that Crampton lost on first down, so it's going to bring up third down and 10.
Hey, speaking of people that are here, our buddy Bob Sakamoto is up here with us from the Tribune. You know, he does all our prep work for us. We got
semifinals coming up next week. We, of course, have to wait for the outcome of all the games this weekend to know where we'll be. What do you think, Kenny? Could be Lincoln Way East, could be Richards, could be TF South, could be Joliet Catholic if they can come back on this game. There's only a few possibilities, but there's still quite a significant amount of them. On third down and long, pass that's incomplete. Incomplete. And the Hilltoppers are looking for pass interference. They're not going to get it. Ryan Lincoln tried to come up with it. Dustin Summers was on the coverage.
Let's see now. Of course, the Hilltoppers want the pass interference. Here we come off the play action. Boy, he has to get rid of it in a hurry. They put a good pressure on, and let's see. Do you see this as pass interference? Well, I think he got there when the ball got there. Close. It's close. I think he got there when the ball got there.
Fourth down and 10 from the 16. Quigley under center. They'll drop it back, and this is the problem of running that play, and he is down at the 10-yard line.
His knee went down.
Hetman, and we saw that once earlier where he lines up on a wing, and then he moves back into punt formation.
Here it is again, a pitch.
But remember, in high school football, when your knee hits the ground, you are down.
So why can't you just line up in punt formation and punt the ball? That's what I said last time.
And that part of the field is just absolutely, in the middle part of the field, it's just slick and muddy.
Well, first and 10 at the 10.
First and goal on the 10-yard line for Providence. They lead 22-0, 5:48 remaining until halftime. Cleveland up the middle, has room, touchdown. Third touchdown of the game for Clay Cleveland.
That was easy. That was easy. Boy, 6 possessions, 5 scores. Here it is again. Cleveland right up the middle. Look at that offensive line blocking. Just unbelievable. You could drive a Mack truck through there. 28-0.
And a chance to make it 29. A stunner so far here in New Lenox, and there was a problem with the snap. The holder had a hard time flagging it down. John Brown just couldn't quite get a good grip on it. Kick is no good. It is 28-0 Providence.
Jim, look at it. 6 possessions. The first possession, field goal. Second possession, a 46-yard touchdown run. Third possession, 3 and out. Fourth possession, a 43-yard touchdown. Fifth possession, a 39-yard passing touchdown. Sixth possession, a 10-yard touchdown run. Thanks to Tom Bonin for all the stats. But I tell you, what a performance by Providence.
And what a performance by Clay Cleveland. 3 trips to the end zone already.
Boy, does he sell popcorn? I mean, he does everything else.
But you know, you know what though? I'm not that impressed with that touchdown run because he only ran it 10 yards.
Yeah, we're used to like what, 40, 43?
Yeah, we're used to a little distance on these.
I tell you, I'm telling you what. That's what, 129 yards rushing for Cleveland tonight, and we're still in the first half. Let's ask the Providence coaches, guys, is there anything he doesn't do? I'll tell you, did he sell hot dogs coming in? The Providence coaches folks are saying maybe we'll send them to get some food.
You look across the field, Kenny, for the fans who have come from Joliet Catholic to watch this game, and it's no fun right now because their team is just getting it handed to them. They'll try it again. They have the return set up, middle of the field, look out. And a big fumble. Ball's loose, Celtics have it. The Celtics get another turnover. They'll have the ball at the 42-yard line.
Oh, big hit, big fumble.
Bob Kelsey with the recovery.
Oh, my goodness.
Bobby Buchanan had a seam. He brought it up the field. He looked like he had made a nice return, but he didn't hang on to the football.
He made a pretty good return, but watch the hit right there. He makes the hit, and after he's hit, he drops the ball.
And we
bring Edgeworth.
We have a flag down on the play, Kenny, and it was thrown by one of the officials standing in front of the Joliet Catholic bench. Now back, and if I might have to get some help from the coaches here. I think it was the 95 championship game when Providence played, was it Griffin? Was it 95 or 96? Providence started out the game with a couple of turnovers and a rainstorm.
Sideline warning on the defense. We're just moving them back. There's no penalty for the sideline warning.
Okay, sideline warning.
You know what, Kenny?
You get the coach that says, get back, get back, coach, you know, get back.
I got my facts straight. Now remember, it was the 96 championship game against Metamora where it was played in like a sideways rainstorm. And the first 2 times Metamora touched the football, they dropped it on the turf, and Providence led 14-0 about 2 minutes into the game and went on to roll from there. It's starting to look very similar to that. 5.5 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Well, they're rolling tonight.
Stanton, hands off, and doesn't look like much, but as we've seen all night long, Cleveland usually gets hit 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage and just keeps the legs moving.
Joliet Catholic has run 21 plays, Providence Catholic 22.
Which you would say, wow, that doesn't seem right, but remember, Providence has had 3 touchdowns of over 44 yards, and they also had a 1-play drive the last time they had the football. 2nd and 6 from the 38. Cleveland and Richler in the backfield. This is going to be Cleveland, and he is stuck. He jumps over the pile at the 37-yard line, and Chris Jeske came up and stuck him.
Yeah, Jeske really jumps up and just really popped him. One of the first times that you were able to get a hold of him. Boy,
well,
the coaches up here really just said, ooh, when they saw him leap in the air. You don't want him to
I
leap
think Cleveland needs to keep it. It's the first time we've seen him go airborne. Oh, that's a nice stick.
You want to stay on the ground. Especially with Jeske out there, came into tonight's contest with 92 tackles.
3rd down and 5 from the 37. Cleveland fakes, rollout. Stanton's in trouble, and he will throw it away.
Good job.
No sense in throwing it in the middle of the field with a 28-0 lead.
Right, I mean, he did the right thing to do. He rolled out, nothing there. He threw the ball away. They'll just punt it. No need to risk an interception.
What a night so far for Cleveland. What a night for the Providence fans. However, they know that they cannot host a game next week. No matter where they play, or no matter whom they play, they will be going on the road. So they will have to go. This will be their last home game no matter what. Punt formation for Providence. Pretty good spiral kick away from the returner, and that is a great kick.
Oh, that's a great kick.
That goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Oh, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're hot, you're hot.
4:11 remaining in the second quarter. Providence all over Joliet Catholic, 28-0 on our AT&T broadband. Line. The Hilltoppers decide to try and run it out and just get a little room. They picked up maybe 3 yards of the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 from the 5.
Well, you're in a spot of the field now where you have to be really conservative. You don't want to do anything, especially the way everything is going Providence way. You don't want to do anything to make a turnover.
Really, the Hilltoppers just need to get out of this half alive and try to get in the second half. Protection breaks down, and that's going to be incomplete.
Boy, you're in
Quigley
the end
was
zone.
running for his life in the end zone.
When you're in the end zone like that, you're asking for trouble.
Now, the only thing is, Kenny, wasn't it about this point of the game last week when we saw TF North and TF South after TF North had everything go their way in the first half that the worm turned, and we saw an incredible comeback by TF South, although we need to point out there's a little bit of difference in quality between
I think
TF
so.
North and Providence.
And we have a man down.
It's one of the Celtics down on the field. Well, while we have a break in the action, gives us a chance to tell you all about one of Kenny's favorites. You like the show, don't you?
Yeah, you know, I saw it Sunday.
Talking about Hometown Edition with Lynn Photius, Fridays at 8 o'clock right here in the AT&T Broadband Network. Hometown Edition focuses on interesting community events and people making a difference in hometowns all across Chicagoland. Go to attbroadbandnetwork.com for more information and additional show times. Marty Marino is down in the field for Providence.
What they also do, they replay Hometown Edition because it was Sunday night. Remember when I called you, hey, I saw that.
So you have more than one chance to see it, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. And also, I did want to mention, like, we started to that our buddy Bob Sakamoto is here. You know, he does all my prep work for me. Good job there, Sako. That's my guy.
Are you done brown nosing, Kenny?
Yeah, you know, I need him one more week. We got another game next week. I need him one more time. We need Sako one more time, one more week.
Well, it has been an absolute blitz by Providence Catholic here in the opening half. And there was all sorts of conjecture coming into this game about predicting scores and how close it would be. And Providence right now working on another 28-0. If they can win 3 more games, they will duplicate what they did in those back-to-back seasons of 94 and 95.
And the good news is...
And they won again in 96, too. So
Marino's up. That's the good news. I'm sure John give us an update on Marino.
3rd down and 10 for Joliet Catholic. 3:25 remaining in the second quarter. This may be their most important 3rd down of the game, because if they don't get a first down here, Providence can call timeout and have a ton of time remaining and will likely get pretty good field position. Crampton in motion. Quigley back to pass out of the end zone, delivers the football, and that looked like it might have been tipped coming out of there.
Boy, that was
Well, now Providence doesn't have to use a timeout.
right with the incomplete pass. Now the Hilltoppers will just punt the ball out.
They will have enough room. Well, you know what? They're actually going to be a little short, Kenny. They're not even going to get a full long snap out of this, although they line up in a normal formation, and they will drop back. This is what caused disaster on the last possession. Hetman into punt.
But he has room, so.
Hetman is into punt. Ryder is standing at the 32-yard line. Hetman gets rid of it and again tries to direct it away from Ryder. He'll let it roll, and the ball will be down at the 49-yard line.
Took a good bounce. Took a real good Joliet Catholic bounce.
It is the running game and the long distance running of Clay Cleveland that has been the best thing for Providence so far in this game, but now they have a chance with 3:12 remaining to give Nick Stanton a chance to throw it a few times.
Right across midfield, so you have good field position with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. They have plenty of time.
Cleveland lined up deep. Richler is right behind quarterback Nick Stanton. Richler adjusts. He's the lead back. Cleveland into the middle of the line, and maybe for the first time tonight, we see Cleveland stopped with the initial hit at the line of scrimmage. He leans forward and gets about one.
Well, you can't blame him if he's tired.
Well, the thing is, though, Kenny, he hasn't taken a lot of hits.
He hasn't taken a lot of hits, but he's run for a lot of yards.
Because you look at it this way, 3 of the times he's carried the ball, he's been standing at the end of the carry. He's been standing in the end zone. 12 carries, 134 yards for Cleveland. He really hurt his average on that last one. Second down and 8 from the 48. Stant looking to throw, has time, steps up, can't find anybody open. Cleveland open along the sidelines. He has the reception, and he's tripped up at the 35, but not after earning a first down for Providence.
And now the clock will stop while they move the chains. I tell you what, one thing I like about Stanton, I like his footwork. When he's in trouble, he really knows how to get away from those tacklers. Look at his footwork as we isolate on Cleveland, coming out of the backfield, comes out, says, hey, I'm open, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Comes back, catches the ball, and gets another first down for the Celtics.
So Stanton, who is usually goes along at about a 2/3 clip, is right around there tonight. 7 of 11, 121 yards. First down and 10. Richler gets the handoff up the middle on the draw, and he maybe gets a yard. He was spun around at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, not much there for Richler. It goes right up the middle.
Clock running, 1:52 remaining in the second quarter.
Do you start to take your timeouts?
Not yet. Got a little time. You've got second and long, so you figure there's going to be a throw here pretty quick. If it's incomplete, the clock stops. If it's complete for a first down, the clock stops as well.
So you see Richler going up the middle, and he's hit by Jeske.
Slot left, Cherkowski all by himself out to the right. Stanton back to throw on play action. Over the middle, and a little too tall for Cleveland.
Just a little too tall for Cleveland. You have to remember, Cleveland's listed at, what, 5'8"?
5'7".
So he's probably about, what, 5'6"? You got to keep that ball low.
What's the rule of thumb? Take 2 inches off their height and a tenth of a second off their 40 time, or add a tenth of a second out of their 40 time?
Well, in my case, you take the height off.
In your case, you
had the 40.
2/10.
I could pick him up and lay him down in my day.
In my case, you had a couple notches to the sundial. Third down and 9 from the 34. 1:24 remaining in the second quarter. Providence leading Joliet Catholic 28-0, and the Celtics are looking for more. Stanton back to pass, has pressure, lofts it up, wide open the middle of the field, complete, touchdown Providence. Dan Bland.
And look at Stanton. I tell you.
Another long touchdown for Providence, 34 yards on the scoring play.
And Stanton watches the play from his backside because he was really crushed as soon as he lets this go. Goes back, good blocking right here, and he's really hit as soon as he let the ball go. The wide receiver wide open. Boy, I tell you, he's so wide open. Oh, my goodness.
34-0 Providence, and the Celtics trying to tack on just one more. The extra points have been an adventure, and that one's blocked.
Well, the one thing they haven't done well is the extra points, but when you rack up 34 points, you don't worry about it. Boy, how wide open was Bland? You know, he was by himself. You thought he came to school late. You know, when guys come to school late, they're about walking in by themselves. That's how wide open he was.
I was never late, Kenny. So
Well, I was always late, so I was by myself, and that's how wide open he was.
But I bet you're one of those guys that always had a good excuse.
Oh, I had
right?
a great excuse. The dog ate my shoe. I couldn't find the other one. But he was so wide open. It's like he was strolling into school by himself.
Stanton, 8 of 13, 155 yards. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns.
And saw that touchdown from his backside as he was hit as soon as he let the ball go.
1:17 still remaining in the second quarter. An absolute clinic by Providence Catholic. Excuse me.
What a surprise. I don't think anybody would have thought this.
Bobby Buchanan and Brad Borg are deep to receive, and over there on the sidelines, Ryan Quigley looking for answers.
Of course, Buchanan's brother, Ray, plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Actually, the last 2 times these teams met, Ray was at the game because he was serving that 4-game suspension that the NFL put on him.
He's getting ready for the Saints this weekend. Celtics decide to keep it on the ground, little knuckleball. Yeah. Picked up at about the 25-yard line and returned out to about the 30. Kurt Kleeman, the starting fullback, picked it up. Providence has run 43 plays in this game, Joliet Catholic 21. And a little while ago, it was pretty close, but Joliet Catholic has spent a lot of time here in the second quarter turning it over.
That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio.
Turned it over on a kickoff return and turned it over on a punt. First down and 10 from the 30-yard line. 1:12 remaining in the second quarter. Quigley and the Hilltoppers would just like to get a first down or 2 and get some confidence. Quigley, deep drop, fakes, goes over the middle. Has it complete to Crampton, and Crampton will take it out to about the 43-yard line. He gets a first down, but the amazing thing is already the Providence defense is like, hey, we'll let you have that. We'll just keep you in front of us. We'll take you down after 12 yards, and that's fine.
Oh, that's fine, as long as you don't get into the end zone.
First down and 10. Quigley back to pass again. Has a man open. Buchanan tries to put on a move, but boy, what a great job of keeping his feet by Dustin Summers. Didn't buy any of the fakes. Takes Buchanan down at the 47-yard line.
Good open field tackle by Summers. Didn't go for the fakes, kept his eyes on the waist. Did you notice the way he looked at his waist? Then he brought Buchanan down, didn't go for the fakes, kept his eyes on his waist. Brings him down in the open field. Good open field tackle.
Hilltoppers call timeout. They have 48 seconds remaining here in the opening half. Joliet Catholic won the opening toss. They deferred to the second half, so they will get the ball to start the second half. So that they have that going for them as well. Time to tell you about some more programming coming up here on AT&T Broadband. Get inside AT&T Broadband for the latest news and technology about your cable provider with Kelly Polizzi. Friday nights at 9:30 here on the AT&T Broadband Network. Go to attbroadbandnetwork.com for more information and additional showtimes.
You know, I saw that show also.
What did you do, watch TV?
I watched TV Sunday.
All week?
All weekend. Yeah, over a friend of mine's house. Hey, I watch Channel 3. It's okay.
That's where we are. And we don't want to have to make our way through the crowd because there's a lot of 48 seconds remaining in the half.
That was an adventure.
34-0, Providence leads. Quigley back to pass, delivers it, and just missed his target. Brett Hedman was coming out of the backfield, couldn't make the catch.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised now to just run it up the middle, get out of here, and let's just start the second half over and say, hey, look, guys, it's 0-0 at halftime. Let's go out and win the second half because nothing is going right for Joliet Catholic so far tonight.
Third down and 7 from the 46. Long touchdown plays and a couple of turnovers. That has been pretty much the story. And that is why Providence Catholic leading 34-0. Crampton in motion. Ryan Quigley takes a deep drop, looks, delivers, and has a completion to Crampton. He was in the middle of 4 Celtics. He came away with the reception, fumbles the football on the tackle, and they are going to rule that he was down.
Boy, what a run by Crampton, huh?
That was a good throw, too.
It was a good throw under pressure and a good run by Crampton, because he was in the middle of 4 guys, and he broke loose to pick up the yardage, the first down, so the clock would stop while they moved the chains, and Joliet Catholic's already at the line of scrimmage. They want to get 6 on the board.
First down and 10 from the Providence 36-yard line. 29 seconds remaining in the half. And we have the official stopping the play.
Officials timeout on the field.
What's he going to say? He didn't whistle it in, maybe?
Or the chains were not set. They have the right down on the down marker. Well, that actually hurts Joliet Catholic because they lost 3 seconds on that.
Right. I don't know what the whistle was for.
Quigley, back to throw. Downfield, flag is down. Throws for the corner of the end zone for Buchanan, and it is incomplete. Holding on Joliet Catholic.
Well, when that flag goes right into that line like that, you know it's going to be a hold. Although that was pretty good defense. Buchanan did not have the inside track. And when you throw it to the corner of the end zone, your receiver has to have that step. Buchanan didn't have it.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, spot of the foul. Repeat the down.
Holding, charging.
That will back the Hilltoppers back to the 48-yard line. They now have 19 seconds remaining in the half.
Hey, go for it again. Why not?
Buchanan out to the left. Quigley back to pass. He's looking Buchanan's way. He's flushed out of the pocket. Quigley gets rid of it, throws it up for grabs, and that is going to be pass interference.
Yeah, because you know why? He didn't look for the ball. I think that's a good call. It was a late flag, but it's a good call.
Took a while, didn't it?
Yeah. I think the official probably had his hand frozen when he get into his pocket.
11 seconds remaining in the first half.
Here he goes again. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, running over to the right, throws it up in the air. Now let's see if we can see where your defender he didn't look for the ball, and that's the problem. When Brian didn't look for the ball, and that's going to be a pass interference. You have to look for the ball. You just can't have your back to the ball and have contact.
Now remember, in high school football, it's a 15-yard penalty, so they do not get it at the spot of the foul.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty. First down.
So the ball now spotted on the Providence 33-yard line. At least close enough for Quigley to try and pitch it into the end zone.
Oh, he has nothing to lose. You're down 34-0.
Wilkinson out to the right. Buchanan out to the left. Quigley back to throw, steps up, delivers, and incomplete. 6 seconds remaining.
Bob Wilkinson just couldn't get over, going for a post pattern, but he just couldn't get there. The ball was there before Wilkinson could get to the post. Another incomplete pass, but you can't blame Quigley for going for it all, Jim. You know, when you're down 34-0 with seconds to go in the half, go to the end zone. You have nothing to lose.
You would suspect this pass will be in the end zone.
Yeah. I would be surprised if it's not.
Would you ever have thought the crowd would be this quiet
No.
at any point in this game?
No.
34-0, 6 seconds left. Blitz is on. Quigley steps up, delivers the football, and threw it a little bit behind Wilkinson, and it falls incomplete into the end zone. First half comes to an end. What a show put on by the Providence Celtics.
Boy, that's an understatement. This has been quite a show.
5 touchdowns and a field goal and a 34-0 lead at the end of the first half, and they are 24 minutes away from advancing once again to the state semifinals.
What a clinic.
Well, the thing you wouldn't have expected, Kenny, is that they would get so many of their touchdowns on long scoring plays. That's the part that's amazing.
When you look at the 34 yards.
Let's go to John Traub. John?
Well, thanks, guys. Talk about ways you dream about a first half of football when you're preparing this week. Your thoughts on what happened in this first half?
Well, the first half, I thought we threw the ball very well. That was big. And then we made some blocking adjustments during the week. for what we're going to see here today. And Clay picked up some stuff, made some nice cutbacks, and you know, he's having a great game. Defense obviously is pitching a shutout. You know, I'm going to have to tell him the story about, I don't know, I think it was 66 or 67, something like that. Marmion was at 34-0 against Joliet Catholic, and Joliet Catholic came back to beat them. I think it was 38-34. So we're not on this thing by any means.
All right, Coach, all season long you guys have followed big plays on defense by big plays on offense. It continues here tonight.
Right, you know, like I said, that's part of the thing. You know, you do a nice job, you get a break on defense, and the most important thing is to create a score out of it.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Go talk to your guys. Jim Kenny, back to you.
Yeah, John, thanks a lot. What do you think the chances are? The first thing Coach says to his guys are, yeah, Marmion had Joliet Catholic down 34-0 and lost. I think that's going to be in the conversation. 34-0, Providence out in front of Joliet Catholic in this 5A quarterfinal game on our AT&T Broadband Network High School Game of the Week. To open the second half, Buchanan returns for Joliet Catholic, and he's forced out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, and that is where the Hilltoppers will open up 1st and 10 as we begin the second half. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds. There's a look at the stats from the opening half of football. Kenny, sometimes the stats are deceiving. Those are not.
But look at the total yardage, 310 to just 33. First downs, 11-1. Total domination by Providence Catholic.
Total yards for Joliet Catholic, 33 in the opening half. Providence had 34 points.
Is something?
Quigley at quarterback. It has not been a fun night for him. Hetman goes in motion.
A lot of shifting by Providence in the line.
Quigley back to throw. Can't find anybody open. Delivers it. Hetman leans incomplete.
Had pretty good time, but just underthrew Hetman. And Jim, when I scout a game for the Orlando Magic, on our sheet we have a thing called body language. Now, I watched Providence come out to start the second half. They were running and jumping, loose and goose. Joliet Catholic came out, you thought they were in church. They were slow, nobody was jumping, they're just walking real lazy, you know.
Well, your attitude has to be, Kenny, if Providence hung up 34 in the first half, why can't we in the second half?
Exactly.
Quigley in trouble, sacked, back at the 33-yard line. Quigley goes down. He was taken out by Danny Olsta.
Danny Olsta.
Look at Danny. He's got that big mud clump on the helmet going, too.
Boy, he came in and just shut off his blockers, and Quigley goes down. Now that'll make it 3rd and 16.
There's been a whole lot of pretty good Olstas come through here, and Danny just another one of them. It's going to be 3rd down and 16 from their own 34 for Joliet Catholic. Hetman goes in motion. Quigley back to pass. Feels the pressure, gets rid of it, and threw it just behind his intended receiver, Bobby Wilkinson.
Threw it a little bit high and behind Wilkinson. And they just can't get anything going tonight.
Boy, if you're Joliet Catholic, do you go for it here? Because realistically, you need
points.
You need 5 possessions. You don't even need, you have to think of it that way. You need 5 possessions to win this game, and you may not get it that many times the rest of the half.
I think you go for it. What do you have to lose?
11:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 34-0 Providence. And
Okay,
they will shift and go back to punt formation. Hetman will punt. Ryder is deep to receive, standing in his own 40-yard line.
And Quigley's going to be a gunner to the left of your screen.
Hetman gets rid of it. Pretty good punt. Ryder drifting back to his 30, lets it hit the turf. Now he grabs it. He slips. He put his hand down, but not his knee, and he brings it back out to the 25 before he's taken down.
Yeah, he put his hand down, not his knee, and Quigley went right by him. They picked up a couple of yards. I thought he was just going to let it bounce, but he decided to pick it up and try to get a couple of yards.
I'll tell you what, the frightening thing now for Providence Catholic, they can do anything they want on offense. If it were a 2 or 3 touchdown lead, you would think, okay, they're not going to throw it too much. But with a 34-point lead, they can do just about whatever they want. Of course, the first option would be run the ball, keep the chains moving, and keep the clock running down. First and 10 from their own 25.
No question about that.
Cleveland gets the handoff, middle of the line, churns the legs, drives forward to about the 27. He picked up 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
But again, like you said, keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving, try to get a little yardage here, a little there, first down, and just keep that clock going, the chains moving. You're up 34-0. You don't have to get too fancy. You just want to get out of here.
He had 118 yards rushing in the first half, and 89 of those came on 2 touchdown runs. 10-17 remaining third quarter.
Big play, Clay.
Nick Stanton at the controls. He'll hand off to Cleveland. Cleveland bounced off the first group of tacklers, takes it out to the 30-yard line before he's brought down, so that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5, and the clock continues to run.
Notice when he bounced off the first group of tacklers, he goes forward and still picks up a couple of yards.
The Celtics will take their time with every play. They will be calm and they will wait. Saw my good friend Scott Slocum from WJOL during the halftime furiously flipping through the Providence record book to find out where this ranks with the all-time big Providence wins. Maybe it won't be the biggest in size, but it'll be one of the biggest in stature. Rollout, Stanton looking to throw, in trouble, puts it up, and that's incomplete. Even though he didn't complete the pass, he threw it to a spot of the field where nobody was.
Right. That's a perfect example why he has not had an interception all year. He's smart. He doesn't throw the ball into traffic. So believe it or not, it's going to be a punt.
8 possessions. And these are the more amazing numbers from the first half. 8 possessions is an incredible amount of possessions in itself. And Providence only punted twice. They scored on 6 of those possessions. And that punt is off the side of the foot, but it gets a Providence bounce. Rolls out of bounds at the Providence 48-yard line. So Joliet Catholic's going to get pretty good field position depending on what the flag is.
Depending on what the flag is, they're going to go against Providence. Watch this, Jim, right off the side of the foot, but it still takes a pretty good bounce for Providence Catholic. Off the side of the foot, it'll bounce right at the 45-yard line, and it'll roll another good 6 yards.
For obvious reasons, Joliet Catholic declines the penalty. 9:25 remaining in the third. Ball is spotted at the 49-yard line of the Providence Celtics. And you would anticipate for Providence that it's just a matter of getting the celebration done and getting this thing over with, but Joliet Catholic with pretty good field position to work with here.
Yeah, it's a lot of football to be played. It's not over yet.
Quigley was injured earlier in the game, came back in. Quigley drops back like he's going to pass. It's a draw play given to Ross Crampton, and he'll pick up 2 or 3 yards before he's stopped by most of the Providence defense.
Crampton switches from safety to running back, rushes for over 1,200 yards in 6 games, but not much going for him tonight.
No.
And now when you're down by 34 points, you have to put the ball up in the air, too.
It's been a very, very tough night. Excuse me. It just registered with me what Tom Bonnet asked me, and I'll pass it along to the rest of the audience in a second. Pitch, Crampton, and he has room over the right side of the formation, and he'll pick up yardage out to about the 38. He is going to be very close to a first down. Tom Bonnet, our stats wizard, just wrote down in front of me, where's J.R. Zerwinski? Well, the Hilltoppers would like to bring back Tom Thayer for the second half, all sorts of. Tom Thayer had what I thought was a very interesting comment in the newspaper earlier this week, suggesting the game be moved to Memorial Stadium so more people could go. And I'm sure Matt Sefner thought about that for about maybe no seconds before he decided that was not going to happen.
Yeah, you're not going to give up a home field.
No, absolutely not. Crampton strung out along the line, couldn't get going forward up the field. He's tackled for a loss. Loss of about 2 on the play at 2nd and 12.
Oh, nice job. Nice job of stringing out the play. Boy, they do such a great job. They do such a wonderful job Watch the pursuit, Jim. Watch the lateral pursuit. Crampton has absolutely nowhere to go. And these broad downs, there's absolutely nowhere to go. Good job of pursuit stringing out to play.
I tell you, it looks awfully cold over on that Joliet Catholic side of the field, you know? I mean, they were hyped up for about the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game until the deluge started from the Providence Catholic Celtics, and Quigley in trouble again, and he's taken down at midfield.
Nah, they say he's down.
And they are saying he was down before he fumbled the football. That sack, it's an 11-yard loss of the play. It's going to bring up 4th down and 23.
Well, here they come.
3rd and 23.
Here they come again. Boy, I tell you, there's absolutely no blocking at all. There's a great job there by Mike Barkman as he gets right in there and brings Quigley down. No blocking at all there for Joliet Catholic.
It is amazing the fact that Quigley has had no time to throw, but he also has nowhere to go with it.
Right. He has nowhere to go.
Officially 3rd down and 20. Quigley, deep drop, looks to throw, little screen over the middle, and that was very nearly picked off.
It was
Cale Martin was the closest one to the football.
That was almost picked off, but now you also have a flag down on the play. I think it's a hold.
Chop block.
Chop block. It's Joliet Catholic. Blocking below the knees. That's something you don't see a lot in high school.
Minus 7 yards so far for Joliet Catholic here in the second half.
Boy, chop block. That's something you don't see.
Which means for the game, they are now down to 26 yards. The ball is just to the Providence side of midfield. It is 4th down and 20. I would suspect we're going to see Joliet Catholic. They're going to punt it again. I'm kind of stunned. But we should say they're in punt formation. Quigley is out wide to the left.
Right, you know, he's the gunner lined up. He was like this the last time.
Pretty good punt by Hetman. Ryder, as he should, calls for the fair catch and has it at the 20. You know, a former great Illinois State high school football player made a mistake on that very play last Sunday, and it's still driving me nuts. Antoine Randall of the Steelers. With about 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, the Steelers are up by 17 points. Antoine Randall is in to receive a punt. If he fair catches it, the game is likely over. He tries to field the punt, fumbles it, and then Atlanta gets 17 points in the 4th quarter, and the game ends up in a 34-all tie.
Well, you know,
fair catch the football. Possession is everything when your team is up 17. Why are you going to try for a return?
Competitors want to compete.
No, Kenny, competitors think of ways to win the game. If you take a fair catch at the proper time of the game, it's a competitive play. Because the goal is to win the game.
But I think the adrenaline from these guys out there on the field, and hey, let me catch it, get something going, is just that competitive spirit.
Well, let's put it this way. What I'm getting at is Mark Ryder made a smarter play than Antoine Randall did.
Okay.
In a similar situation.
Hey, how comfortable is the league? One of the Providence Catholic coaches to our left is on the telephone.
Making arrangements for next week. You got to get that film exchange going already.
Ordering post-game pizza.
I hope they bring it up here. 6:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Providence with the ball in a 34-0 lead. Cleveland gets the carry. He'll just keep the legs churning, make sure he hangs on to the football. He takes it out to the 29-yard line.
After he sees this tape, they'll probably put us on the roof next time we come back.
That is if we don't get our pizza.
You're right.
3rd down and 2 with the clock running. Now under 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
And what Providence really wants to do now, Jim, is just keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving. Don't do anything too fancy.
Stanton warmed up on the sidelines while Joliet Catholic had the football, but it's doubtful he's going to throw very much, especially if you're going to get this kind of yardage out of Clay Cleveland. Takes it across the 50-yard line. He's brought down at the 47. Another 1st down for the Celtics.
And Chris Jeske with another touchdown-saving tackle. I tell you what a great job of blocking. These guys do a wonderful job of blocking. Watch the wide receivers. out leading the blocking out front. Here he is again, and Chris Jeske brings him down from behind. You know what Cleveland needed there, Jim? He needed some of that spray like the Sacramento State football players did. They sprayed the uniforms with Pam, so you can't get a hold of them. That's what you got to do with Cleveland. Put a little spray on them.
First and 10, Cleveland carries again. He breaks through. He has a first down, and he has more. Cleveland slips and falls at the 25-yard line, or he would have been gone.
What he did, he tackled himself. He just stumbled, and he went down. He got his 16th carry of the game. Here it is again. Look at the wonderful blocking right there. He pushes his guy out of the way, then he goes left, gets a nice hole, cuts back right. One guy misses him, another guy misses him, and he'll just stumble right there and fall.
Kenny, he actually raised his per carry average with that carry. Now 16 carries for 178 yards.
I like the way he just pushed his guys out the way. McIntyre, he just pushed him out the way. Move.
Cleveland has only a handful more yards to go before he goes over 1,800 for the season.
Well, I think we know who our player of the game will be.
Pretty good bet it's Clay Cleveland. More yardage for Cleveland. Just follows the pile, falls across the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, he gets down so low once he gets the ball, too. He's down so low. I'm sure it's very difficult for those big defensive linemen to see him. And he's so low to the ground by the time they reach down to get him, he's gone.
By my calculation, he needs 11 more yards to go over 1,800 for the season. And with the success that Providence has always had at this time of year, you have to like his chances to get 2,000.
Yeah, he's at 184 for tonight.
Second down and 3 from the 18. And it's Cleveland again, and he'll carry it down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. And a little bit of frustration starting to rear its head for the Hilltoppers.
Well, if this keeps up and they get into the end zone pretty soon, you're going to be seeing running clock.
Yeah. Cleveland is 18 carries, 189 yards. Wow, Kenny, that's 10.5 yards a carry.
Wow.
I'm trying to impress Tom.
Actually,
my in my head math.
But I'm figuring it out.
Okay, you keep working on it. I'll call the play. First and 10, and the Hilltoppers come across. The question, did the Celtics draw them off?
10.5.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Encroachment on Joliet Catholic, so they'll move it 5 yards closer. So if Cleveland picks up 6 yards, he goes over 1,800, and the ball right now is sitting on the 8. First down and 5. On first and 5, Cleveland with the carry up the middle, keeps the legs turning. He's over 1,800. He has his 4th touchdown of the game. Providence leads 40-0.
He just won't stop. You hit him, you hit him, you hit him again, and he just does not go down. Unbelievable.
Well, I would suspect now it's going to be time for a lot of the Celtics to earn their letters.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the guys will be earning the letters, but their offensive linemen, they've earned theirs tonight. So has Cleveland, who has also earned his letter tonight.
Cleveland unofficially 197 yards rushing in the game. Extra point. That one is good.
Hey!
41-0 Providence.
And an extra point. But the good thing about a blowout like this, it won't be so difficult to get out of here with this big overflow crowd.
Right.
But I tell you, this is unbelievable.
What a night for the Providence Celtics. I don't think they could have imagined. You know, sure, you go into a game confident. You believe you're going to win. You're committed to doing the things it takes to win. But against a rival such as this, there is no way that any of the Celtics could have expected to be up 41-0 and still be playing in the third quarter.
And Cleveland does such a great job following his blockers. Did you see the big number 65 that Joe Carrillo just take out 2-3 guys? He goes right behind him. Just a great job by Cleveland following his blockers.
Well, whoever gets the tape of this game and has to get ready to play the Celtics next week had better figure out a way to hit Clay Cleveland at the line of scrimmage and make sure you hang on to him.
8 plays, 79 yards for the touchdown. Cleveland with the touchdown. But the offensive line deserves a lot of credit, too.
Right.
That offensive line has done a great job
and that's
tonight.
the thing, Kenny, because Cleveland hasn't even been getting touched until about 2 yards into his run. And that's because of the surge the offensive line is getting up front. Picked up at the 15 and a return of about 3 yards. That was Wilkinson on the return, and the Joliet Catholic offense will come out onto the field.
So now, don't you go running clock with a 41-point lead? Yeah, now they'll go with the running clock. Because now, once the lead gets to 40, you go to running clock. So now we'll have a running clock. Do you like that, the idea of running clock?
Well, let's face it, Kenny, the outcome of this game is inevitable. You're not going to see a 41-point comeback, but I have to ask this question. When was the last time Joliet Catholic had to play with a running clock against them?
Boy, I'm willing to bet never. I'm willing to bet never.
That'll be a gain of about 2 up the middle. Just an amazing performance tonight by the Providence Celtics.
And I would imagine a lot of Celtic alumni in the stands tonight very happy. I'm sure John Traub will probably try to track down some of the alumni here tonight. We know a lot of alumni are in attendance.
Last time Joliet Catholic was shut out, that was by Providence, but that was back in 1989, and now the Providence Celtics, they're all jacked up on defense. I mean, they're certainly not letting up at all, because I will guarantee you the defensive coaches and the players have discussed the fact that there are no points on the board for Joliet Catholic, and that's their motivation for the rest of this game.
And Marty Marino back in the game. He came out earlier on the tackle there. You see the jackets with the state championships on the back.
You know, the thing is, if you play football here at Providence, it's pretty tough to leave here without one of those jackets.
I think so, yeah.
You know, even just one. What they have done at this school in the 90s and now into the 21st century is simply astounding. Quigley back to pass, swings it out. Crampton has to try and get around a man, stiff arm, and then he's driven out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. And with the running clock, we're down now to 122.
So I guess the running clock is put in just so nobody gets really too embarrassed. I think when you have a 40-point lead, that's enough. Crampton, of course, has done such a wonderful job the last 6 games coming from safety to the running back position, but Providence has done a wonderful job containing him tonight.
Quigley, Crampton, Hetman in the backfield, they're all seniors. Wilkinson is a senior. Most of the offensive line, all seniors. This is not the way you want to see your high school career come to an end. Pitch to Crampton. Crampton on the right side has a little bit of yardage, moves it out over the 40-yard line to the 41. You know, our first game of the year, Kenny, was Bremen at Plainfield South. And leading up to the week of that game, the Bremen players and coaches, what they talked about is the awful feeling they had of walking off the field in the opening round of last year's state playoffs when they were just drilled by Joliet Catholic and embarrassed 51-0. And that was their whole motivation coming back for the next year. I wonder if already the guys who are going to be back for Joliet Catholic who are playing in this game aren't already thinking about getting back and getting going again next year.
Believe it.
In spite of the fact that this game still has a quarter to run. We have reached the end of the third quarter. Providence 41, Joliet Catholic nothing in this 5-8 quarterfinal game on the AT&T Broadband Network High School Game of the Week. Back for the fourth quarter here in New Lenox. Jim Blaney, Kenny McReynolds, John Traub, and the rest of our AT&T Broadband Network crew. Stunned, I think, Kenny, is the best word to describe everybody who is packed in here tonight, all 6,000 of us.
It's unbelievable.
No one expected this. 41-0 Providence. Let's go downstairs to John Traub. John?
Hey, Louis. It's about the 1996 Medina, and the Celtics are great year as well. We're actually the yearly rushing
yards that year? Tell me about 1996.
All right, we'll try and get back to John in a little bit. That was Louis Medina, who is one of out of the incredible amount of fantastic football players that have come through Providence. I have to tell you, I think he was the best. Played on 2 state champions, 95, 96. That one falls incomplete. As a matter of fact, when Providence won their state championship in 1996 in Class 4A, Joliet Catholic lost to Mount Carmel that year in the 5A finals. So that year, both of these teams were downstate. Let's try it again. John?
All right, guys, thanks. And 2002, great year for Cleveland and the Celtics. 1996, a nice year for Louis Medina and the Celtics as well. 2,755 yards, an all-time rushing mark for a year. And tell us about what's going on here tonight.
Not a game. I'm hoping he's going to break my record this year. Somebody needs to do it here.
First time ever Joliet Catholic has had a running clock against them. Tell your thoughts on what the Celtics are doing to the Hilltoppers.
You know, my year in '96, I think it would have been the same thing. You know, we had to put in some of the bench players, but this team's phenomenal. They're gonna win state this year, no doubt. This is probably one of the best teams Providence has put on the field.
You've been involved in yourself. Compare those 3 state champions to this team.
You know, I'm gonna be a little cocky here, but I feel that my team's one of the best. So that's just me. I know you're gonna have a lot of critics out there, but my teams could have beat anybody there, and that's why I was 42-0 when I was here. Hopefully they can put something like this together like that.
Well, thanks, Louis. And Louis continuing to stir things up here on the sideline. Guys, back to you.
All right, John, thank you so much. I had the privilege of calling those 2 Providence state championship games back in 95 and 96, and I'm with Louis. Those 2 teams were as good as anybody I ever saw. Return for Ryder at the 41-yard line, taken down at the 42. As a matter of, in the 95 championship game, Kenny, Providence beat Sacred Heart Griffin. And I'm telling you what, that team that Sacred Heart Griffin had that year was one of the better high school teams I've ever seen, and they lost that game.
Really?
I mean, that's how good Providence was in 1995.
But who does Louis think he's fooling? That he hopes Cleveland breaks his record tonight? Yeah, right. That's a politically correct thing to say. Hey, a little warm out here tonight, huh?
To get the record, to break that record, Cleveland would have to go for 700 yards in the next 2 games. Handoff. Cleveland still in the game. Who knows? He's piling it on. Now he's over 200 for the game, and he carries it out to the 45-yard line.
A couple of more big plays, he may get to 700 tonight.
And that's going to be it. Matt Sefner, what he did there is he put the starting offense back in. Now he's taking them all out.
Well, and this way, Cleveland gets his 200 yards, and the starting offense gets a hand from the sellout crowd.
Because remember, this is their last home game. They will not play at home next week.
Right.
1st and 10.
New quarterback.
John Brown is in a quarterback. Handoff. Pretty good yardage and into the secondary, and it doesn't matter if Cleveland is out of the game. The yardage continues to pile up. Carried down to the 32-yard line. DeAndre Nunn on the carry.
DeAndre Nunn with some good yardage. John Brown with a nice handoff. Here's Brown with the handoff. Watch the offensive line doing a wonderful job of standing up those defenders. When you get those guys standing up like that, Jim, they can't not block if they're standing straight up. Right up the middle. Another 1st down for the Celtics.
8:30 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Nunn and Jeremiah Job in the backfield. That's Job in the carry, and he's spun around and spun back at the 32-yard line. So DeAndre Nunn, junior, 5'10", 190. You would guess he's the heir apparent, and he has 3 touchdowns this year.
Not a bad backup, huh?
Not bad at all. Celtics move back quickly to the line of scrimmage, under 8 minutes remaining. 2nd down and 10 from the Joliet Catholic 32-yard line. Brown gives to Nunn, and he slips and falls down.
Right in that muddy spot we talked about earlier.
But the main thing is that he hangs on to the football, and the Providence Celtics will keep possession. So Nick Stanton is a senior. Darren Richler, the starting fullback, is a senior. Cleveland is a senior. And 3 of the 5 starting offensive linemen are seniors. But if you've followed Providence football at all through the years, it really doesn't make any difference what happens after graduation, because they have guys that have studied underneath the starters, and they just move up into the lineup, and things just keep rolling along here.
And a great feeder program. They have so many of these guys coming in from the New Lenox Mustangs.
Right.
Great feeder program out here in New Lenox. But Clay Cleveland is, without question, our player of the game. And I'm sure we'll hear from him immediately after the game's over.
Nunn keeps running, moves the pile, gets down to about the 30-yard line before he's spun back. He'll be short of a first down. Well, we've talked about this before, Kenny, and it bears mentioning again, because in this area between Lincoln Way Central and Lincoln Way East, Providence, Joliet Catholic, and then you start traveling a little farther north, Bolingbrook, two Naperville schools, Downers Grove. It is amazing the quality of high school football that's played in this area.
Second to none. I don't think you'll get any argument from anyone in the state of Illinois. In this area, to have so many outstanding football teams and players, it's unbelievable.
4th down and 8. Brown, hands off, Nunn, left side of the formation, goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line and should have a first down.
Well, not a bad backup. When DeAndre Nunn can come off the bench and come in and pick up good yardage, and does a wonderful job of following his blockers, gets to the outside, puts that shoulder down to get that extra yard, and gets that first down. And of course, with the running clock now, the clock continues to move.
Brown comes back in with the play. Here's the final numbers on Clay Cleveland. 20 carries, 210 yards, 4 touchdowns. 5:28 remaining.
And the Providence coaches are packing it in. They're up here with us.
Nunn strings it out along the right side, and he'll lose 2 before getting taken down.
Well, when's the last time you saw our coaching staff with 5 minutes to go in a game decide to go downstairs?
Leaving the press box.
Leaving the press box to go downstairs. That's pretty confident. 210 yards on 20 carries.
Half of the yardage that Cleveland had tonight came on touchdown runs. It's amazing.
Big plays, big touchdown runs.
And, you know, I'll tell you what, I give a lot of credit to the Joliet Catholic fans. So they're still over there. They're not leaving. They're gonna stay with their team till the bitter end.
Get their money's worth.
And it will be a bitter end of the season for Joliet Catholic. Fumble on the play. Ball came loose. And it appears as though the Celtics have fallen back on top of it.
No, he gave it to the Hilltoppers.
Gave it to the Hilltoppers, so they turn it over on a 2nd down play, and Joliet Catholic will come back in. Now, here is the difficult thing for Joliet Catholic. Do you leave the seniors in and let them keep playing, or do you let some of the other guys go in?
I think you let the other guys go in, get a little bit of experience. There's no substitution for experience. I think you let the substitutes come in.
Well, Quigley is still in the game. Quigley is still in. Wilkinson is still in. And Buchanan is still in the game as well.
Like I said, I think you leave your starters in.
Yeah. Quigley, toss. Buchanan has it. He'll gain about 3 yards. Moves it across the 26-yard line.
Well, Buchanan will be back next year. He's a junior. And, boy, he's a pretty good-looking one, too.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
And on your offensive line, you have Chadron, who changed positions earlier in the year. He's back at 255. Kolovitz at 220. He's back next year. And Kleeman, your starting running back, is back as well. So, same thing with Joliet Catholic, though. Another one of those teams that just reloads them, moves the juniors up as they can become seniors, and they're ready to go. Handoff, Crampton, that goes nowhere. He's wrapped up, and he's taken down at the 22-yard line. 3:11 remaining.
Today is one of those days where nothing went right for Joliet Catholic, but I guarantee you next year this team will be back, and they'll be heard from.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll be heard from.
You know what, Kenny? These two teams could come back out here tomorrow and play, and the result wouldn't be like this.
Right, and the only thing that would be like this would be the crowd, the overflow crowd.
Because Providence not only had everything go their way in the first half, but they took advantage of it too. They got the turnovers, they punched it into the end zone. When Joliet Catholic came up and grouped a lot of men along the line of scrimmage, they were able to break into the secondary and get long touchdown runs. So I doubt if this would happen again. There's a completion. Wilkinson has it out about the 40-yard line.
So you move the yard markers, but we're going with a running clock because you have a 40-point lead. for Providence Catholic.
41-0 Providence. A long, long night for Joliet Catholic. And a good thing for the Hilltoppers is a short bus ride, because it's not going to be a happy one.
Warm up the bus, Gus. I think that bus was warmed up at halftime.
Quigley deep downfield, has his man open. Buchanan has it. Buchanan has it down at the 21-yard line. Now here's my question. Can you call a timeout with a running clock?
Nope.
Because Joliet Catholic certainly would at least like to get a touchdown on the
Well,
board.
you can't call it timeout, but they still have 1:40 to go. So the running clock runs all the time.
And they're going to start pitching into the end zone. They do
Oh,
not
yeah.
want to be shut out.
No, they don't want to be shut out. You might as well pitch it to the end zone. What do you have to lose?
Quigley back to pass. Looking for Wilkinson, throws it behind him, and Wilkinson gets nailed in the end zone.
Yeah, they're going for the 6. They do not want to be shut out.
1:17 and running, and there's a penalty flag down in the field. And this is going to run out a lot of time, just marking this thing off.
And it's going to go against Joliet Catholic. Personal foul, a little frustration.
And timeout, Joliet Catholic.
Well, they say you can't call a timeout.
You can call a
And that
timeout with a running clock.
stops the clock. Okay, well, you can stop the clock. I don't think it makes much of a difference right now.
Well, it does to Joliet Catholic.
Well, they don't want to be shut out.
No, they don't want to be shut out. And the flip side of that, too, is the Celtics don't want to give up a touchdown. They want the shutout.
They want to shut out. And their second-string guys are in there. They want to show that they can play and move up to the varsity level next year and be competitive.
You know, when we were talking with, when John was down there talking with Medina earlier in the game, obviously a guy that every time he walks back into the school, he's the leading rusher of all time. And
right.
I think every guy standing on the sidelines tonight in this game, no matter how many years go by, you know, you're going to be 20, 30 years down the road, and in spite of all the state championships that this team has won over the years, I'm willing to bet that this night is going to be the one these guys remember the best.
Oh, sure.
Because that was the night that they just absolutely throttled Joliet Catholic, their arch rival.
Their arch rival. You know, this game could have come against any school in the state of Illinois, but it wouldn't mean the same as it does coming against Joliet Catholic.
They'll start the clock, and there will be 1:08 remaining in the quarter. Back to pass. Quigley, and he's going to be buried back at the 45-yard line.
Well, let's see if they call another timeout. 1 minute exactly to go.
Well, it becomes a little harder to pitch it into the end zone from back at the 45.
They don't have much to lose.
And remember that Providence has a tendency to end the season of very good teams and beat them badly. They beat Richards 41-0 last year in the championship game. Boy, Quigley was going over and saying something to the official. Clock running, 39 left. Quigley back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He's buried again.
Down he
and
goes again.
That's a late hit. And that's
a late hit.
And a spear.
Yep. That was a late hit. That Mike Moody. That's a late hit.
Clock stops now. 25 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
That would have likely ended the game, except for the penalty.
Late hit by Moody.
And the entire Joliet Catholic offense now going over to the sidelines. Timeout called by the Hilltoppers.
But they're trying to get into the end zone.
Providence will have to go on the road next week. And this is something very big, Kenny. And when Providence was a 4A school, you usually had to go down to state and play on a short week because the 4A game was played on Friday. But now with 4 games every day and Providence being a 5A school, they don't have to worry about a short week with the holiday anymore.
Right, exactly.
If they can win next week, they'll play the Saturday after
Thanksgiving. That's really tough, though. They'll be 12-0 and have to play on the road.
Yeah.
It seems to me if you're 12-0, you deserve an opportunity to stay at home.
And don't forget Sports Weekly, Thursdays at 6:30 right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. Dave Wills and Perry Williams have all the high school scores and highlights and in-depth commentary. Go to AT&TBroadbandNetwork.com for more information and additional show times. 25 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I just think that's so unfair to me to be on the road and you're 12-0.
Quigley puts it up for grabs, and that's picked off. Picked off back at the 5-yard line. Cale Martin makes the interception, and he returns the ball back to the 20, and he's finally taken down.
And that will do it with 5 seconds to go.
An incredible performance tonight by the Providence Celtics. They advance to the 5A semifinals with a 41-0 victory over Joliet Catholic. Unbelievable performance.
Who would have thought it? You know, I don't think anybody's surprised that Providence won the game, but I think everybody would be surprised at the margin, 41 points.
The outcome is stunning, and Matt Sefner is going to have to convince his guys within about the next 24 hours that, you know what, guys, it's not going to be that easy. Although the fact that Providence won their state championship last year 41-0 may beg the difference. This is a pretty good football team, Kenny.
Pretty good football team. You know, we saw that the 4th week of the season, that they were a good team. The offensive line was outstanding again tonight. Clay Cleveland was outstanding, but you really have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front. That big, powerful offensive line opened some great holes where Cleveland just refused to go down. The defense, superb. Quigley had nowhere to go, nothing to do. He just couldn't do anything. And you have to give a lot of credit to that defense.
Cleveland goes for over 200 yards, scores 4 touchdowns. And the thing that impresses me most about Providence is the fact that, of course, they have Cleveland, and he's going to get you yards. But the other thing is, too, is Nick Stanton is incredibly accurate and doesn't turn the ball over as a quarterback. And, again, you don't need your quarterback to win games, but you need him to make a few throws on 3rd down and 8 and get you a couple of first downs to keep drives alive.
And he can do that.
And that's what Stanton did tonight.
Right, and what I like most about Stanton, to me, Jim, is that when he's in trouble, his footwork is so superb. He can get out of trouble. He can move, he can run. He's just a complete ball player.
He has a lot of confidence in that offensive line. We're back with more from New Lenox in just a moment. Our final, once again, Providence 41, Joliet nothing on our AT&T Broadband Network high school game of the week. The Providence Celtics, they move on. The Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers, their season is over. A disappointing end, to say the least, for Joliet Catholic, but you know what, Kenny? There was finality to it, that's for sure. When you lose 41-0, you don't have to sit there in the offseason and say, well, if we had done this or that. It was Providence Catholic was overwhelming tonight.
Yeah, not many if I coulda, shoulda, wouldas, because everything just went to Providence Catholic tonight. Just an outstanding performance. They did a wonderful job. They just actually dominated everything tonight.
Well, you know what this does? It just adds to the legend, the growing legend of this series. And I would have to suspect that now the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers, the ones that are going to be back next year, are already looking forward to when they get another shot at Providence next year. And it'll be on this field, by the way, too.
It'll be on this field, and I guarantee you that they will work all summer for this game coming up. You know, this past summer, these two teams were at the same health club and got into a little shoving match. This summer, they were at the same health club and said, hey, wait, we'll see you guys on the field. And both times they met tonight, this season, the victory goes to Joliet Catholic. I'm sorry, to Providence Catholic.
Yeah, Providence Catholic, they move on. They go to the semifinals again, and they'll get ready to try and earn a trip to the state finals. Let's go downstairs to John Traub. John?
All right, guys, thanks. Down with Clay Cleveland. And Clay, I tell you what, 4 touchdowns tonight. You didn't score on the first drive, but you didn't look back after it either.
No, we ran the normal stuff, then we did the special stuff, like we knew what we could take advantage of, and then we ran that. Like first drive, we were just getting used to what they were going to run against us, and then we made some adjustments. The line did a great job, Darren did a great job, and we were just able to do everything.
Playing a team like Joliet Catholic twice in the same season, what did that do for you guys to prepare here tonight?
We looked at what we did wrong the first week, our mistakes, and then we just tried to change them all.
All year, your guys have been responding, your defense, and then your offense comes back, responding from a big play from your defense, and you guys just seem to put teams away right after that.
We just start working together really great. when the defense gets the momentum, then we just try to keep it. And we've done a great job of that so far.
You know, there's a little bit of your uniform that isn't muddy. You want to roll around some more tonight?
That's all right.
Save it for next week, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for spending your time with us. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Jim Kenny, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. What a performance for Clay Cleveland tonight. He goes over 1,800 yards for the season. He goes over 200 for the game, scores 4 touchdowns. Those are pretty good player of the game credentials, don't you think?
Well, I think so, and I think he got those credentials in the first half. He was just unbelievable. He's so low to the ground. Those big guys try to reach down and get him. He's already gone. Great balance, and again, an outstanding performance. I don't think you can say enough for the offensive line.
Now, don't forget, next week we will be covering one of the semifinal games. We don't know anything about where we're going to be except for the fact we know we won't be here because Providence will be on the road for their semifinal game in 5A. But come on back here at this time next week and we'll have the game for you. It'll be a semifinal game with the winner advancing on to the state championship. Our final score, Providence Catholic 41, Joliet Catholic nothing. For our producer-director, Elliot Barlog, my partner, Kenny McReynolds, Tom Bonin, John Traub, and the entire AT&T Broadband Network crew, I'm Jim Blaney, thanking you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week in the semifinals.